What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiwan, and I am back with Sisters Season 9, Episode 21. Girls just want to have fun. You know what? That's pretty much what this episode was about. They was drunk, they was high, and the other two was pregnant. It was light, very, very lighthearted. Okay? Extremely lighthearted. I was here for it. All right. So before I start, like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button, so you can be updated. All right. Like the videos so I can stay in the algorithm. Okay. And I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do it. Anyway, y'all. So the episode picks up with them confronting Penelope, call her raggedy self confronting them in the restroom. Okay. So Sabrina drunk. Okay, she can't stand straight. She's stammering. Her words are slurring. It's like, girl, Sabrina, sit in a corner. Okay. Penelope tell Andy she is trash, of course, because y'all know Penelope don't see it for Andy. All right. Then she throw Andy's kidnapping in the face. She was like, if it wasn't for Zach, you wouldn't be here. You would be, Dunzo or whatever. So Penelope says she was dating Robin. Did y'all really write this in here? Y'all, it is so mind-blowing that like, really? I guess. You know what? It's not upon me to whether or not to decide if Pernell is lying. Okay, I don't even care. I don't care, y'all. It's just it's a storyline. Anyway, the way Andy read Pernell was priceless. And then as she's reading Pernell, you see Danny and Sabrina. They drunk. They over in the corner laughing, making matters worse. Ooh, fine. I was here for it. So they get the tongue tussling again. Andy punched Pernell in the face, and then the girl with then everybody just started fighting. Okay, they were just rolling in the bathroom. Okay. Meanwhile, you got Maurice, Pam, and the Prego sisters, outside, asking what's taking the lady so long, basically, and then they see security running the bathroom. They was like, oh, what's going on? Some people don't know how to hold their liquor. This just too hood and ghetto and yada. They didn't say that, but basically, that's what they said. And so they just wondering basically what was going on in the bathroom, and somebody was fighting, yada, yada, yada. So we get outside, and Karen and Fatima are shocked by Andy and Sabrina's antics. And the way Andy came outside and the way her stance was like this, like Fatima was like, you did what? Girl. But Sabrina and Danny vouched for her. So I did see where Pernell was getting the best of Andy. But then she hit Sabrina. And Sabrina knocked Pernell out with the 1-2. Okay, that was her being drunk. And that was probably her pissed off because she didn't do nothing to them when she found her and Rich. Okay? So she knocked what's her name? She knocked Penelope the out. Alright? So Zach and Rich are still complaining about their women. Okay? I don't really care about this. They're talking about how their ladies don't take accountability. Mr. Keys said accountability has nothing to do with right or wrong, but is more about communication. I just skipped over that scene because I just like the fact that this was lighthearted. Okay? So Andy have a talk with Danny. She thanks her for having her back. But at this point, they both don't know why they're beefing with one another. But Andy says to Danny that she says crazy things sometimes. And Danny tells Andy, stop making me think that we're not friends. And you hiding things from her. But I think I think this is where Danny is getting everything twisted. I think, and Andy said she wanted to protect Danny, but I also thought that Andy was wanting to keep things for herself because she tells the sisters everything. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I'm now looking at old episodes of, and they was telling each other everything, or just, putting each other's business out there. And I think she just probably wanted to keep something for herself. Anyway, they make up. I feel like it's about time because, it's time. Y'all, it's time. So, Sabrina, still drunk. She confessed to Danny for seeing Rock. Danny was like, girl. I'm very annoyed at the end, but we'll get there. Danny tells Sabrina, listen, I tried to save you from a headache, but he's all yours now. You deal with it. So not only are the heifers drunk, they are high because they sitting there chewing on edible brownies. Meanwhile, the pregnant ladies need to sit down because their feet hurt. Okay? They did say that their feet were on fire. Okay? Anyway, Danny called the creep of an officer and Sabrina called Rock. And I'm like, I just... For both. Because both of these men can go. Okay? Anyway, Karen then calls Aaron to check on. She goes in the bathroom, calls Aaron to check on Faith. And, basically he was like, listen, go have fun with your friends. I got this. Y'all know Karen is in full-on mother mode. All right? So there's the guy who comes out of the bathroom and asks for parenting advice because him and his partner, I think he said his husband, they are using a surrogate, And he said, I don't know what to do. I'm so nervous. I don't want to do anything wrong. And Karen was like, basically, you're going to do something wrong. You're going to mess up. Things are going to happen, but you're going to get it right. And I want to say, I know y'all have seen him on social media. He's the guy who is always twerking. And he's always, he always put emphasis on his butt in all of his videos. He's funny, though. He's very funny. Anyway, in comes the creepy cop. Like, I don't like him. Ugh. And then Sabrina goes into the bathroom. She hears noises. Of course, there are people in there, smashing, of course. And it's Rock. And he comes out of the bathroom stall with two women. And he tells Sabrina, she was like, well, I called you here to come see me. He was like, yeah, but I met these two and had fun with them. And he was like, well, I was hoping we can all go have fun together. And Sabrina was like, no, I don't really get down like that. Like, I'm not trying to do all of that. So then he get mad. He tells Sabrina, fine, I'm going to have fun with these two and you can have fun by yourself. And so this the one thing that alerted me. Sabrina tell Rock, maybe you should get tested. He said, if I have something, you have something. And I'm looking at her like, you don't know this man from a can of paint. And you let him hit without a rubber? Oh. I have no words. I have no words. I don't. I'm just annoyed. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking at something. What is that? Hold on. All right, I'm back. Figured it out. Anyway, so Zach and Rich left. Mr. Keys said, you know what, y'all have a good time. I'm gonna stay. Also, Zach invited Keys and what's his name, Rich, to the barbecue, and so did Fatima. She invited everybody to all the ladies, the guys, all to the barbecue at their house the next day. So in comes Andy's mom, and she sits at the bar next to Keys. Look like she got some stuff going on her brain. And so Miss Keys turned to her and said, well, how you doing? She said, I'm blessed. I was like, girl, why you got an attitude? Anyway, he was like, I bet you are. Child. And then we move to the next scene. Andy actually admits that this is the happiest she has been in a long time, with her releasing all of these men. And I don't think, as long as I've seen this show, she's been happy. Not like that. And to see her in a different light, like she had her drink. They have their drinks, but it was never like this. She let her hair completely down. Okay? Anyway, Karen admits to Fatima that they have a heart-to-heart. And she admits to Fatima that Sabrina is basically the rock of their friendship. She tells her, listen, I was mad that you and Danny were friends. And she was like, yeah, I know. And she said, but Danny is loyal. And Fatima was like, yeah, she is. And she said some of the craziest things. And so she looked at Andy, Karen looked at Andy and said, she's a mess sometimes, but she's unstoppable. Karen asks Fatima to watch the sisters while she's gone. She tells Fatima, you're their sister now. Which, let me just say this. Karen, listen, friend. Listen. All of this could have been squashed if you didn't let your ego get in the way. Okay? You could have been Fatima a friend. Like, that lady was cool. But no, you wanted to give her a hard time. Okay? But that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And for my subscribers, from us to the writers, make sure y'all put in an apology from Karen to Fatima on next week. Let's wrap this up. Send her to Seattle and figure something else out. Okay, y'all gonna have to come better next season. I hope this the last season, and if it is, y'all gonna have to show up a little better, writers. Okay, we gonna have to do better. Okay, and so the ladies, they all get on stage, and Maurice, they sing "We Are Family." Is it? Yeah. So they say "We Are Family." Everybody just having a good time. We could have all been having a good time long ago, but no, y'all decided to make Karen bitter. I blame the writers. Anyway, because that's all we can blame. Okay, so with that being said, that is all I have, y'all. I swear I have to put out the Housewives of Beverly Hills. I want to say 2 more episodes, the last 2 episodes of Bel Air and the final episode of All's Fair. It'll come out. I just, not trying to do too much at one time because I've been going to sleep late, doing all of this. So, but with that being said, I appreciate y'all for hanging on with your girl, for bearing with me, all of the things. And don't forget, Friday night is my Healing Out Loud segment with my cousin Courtney, and it's at 7:30. So we're gonna be live. Be there or be square. All right. Really, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.